I grew up in a suburb of New York City where people valued education and were willing to pay for it, and so the schools were very good, and I had a great experience from kindergarten right through 12th grade. And I have to say that I cannot remember a teacher ever mistreating me or any of my classmates. When an adult did say something or do something wrong, they really weren't around for very long. When I started teaching at Stuyvesant High School in New York City, a very good public high school, I was, I have to admit, very surprised when I heard a teacher, a man I knew, a math teacher, just bellowing at his students, just at the top of his lungs. And I didn't say anything because I was a new teacher. He had been there for a long time. He, by all accounts, was a good teacher. And I didn't really think it was my place, but I did not like it. My third year of teaching was at a new public high school in New York City where both the principal and the assistant principal had almost no experience. And their way of treating kids I also did not like. They did not communicate well with students. They did not value students as people. And I decided I needed to do something about it in this case. And I went about thinking about how am I going to do this. I decided that the best way to deal with this was to create situations where they were in direct contact with students more, and lots of students, and therefore had to deal with them. And I hoped that in that way, their dealings with the students would improve. I was fortunate that I was able to create situations where that would take place. As the Chinese and Japanese teacher, I decided to do something for Chinese New Year. I wanted to do something big for the entire school. Fortunately, we had a number of students from China, and so I decided to get them involved. And ultimately, I chose one student in particular, very dynamic, very proactive, girl named Liu Tian, to be in charge of this. And I said to everyone else, look, she's in charge. You're going to report to her. You're going to deal with her. And if there are any problems, she'll come and talk to me. At some point, the principal wanted to know what our plans were, so I sent Liu Tian to talk to him, hoping that he would listen to her, he would see what a great job she was doing, he would see that this is the person he needed to be talking to, that she had all the information that he wanted, and that she could deliver it in a meaningful way. Unfortunately, the result was not good because he did not want to hear it from her. He wanted to hear it from me. Well, that was not my thinking. I wanted him to hear it from her. I sent her back, he sent her back again, and ultimately the result was not good. He and I got into a shouting match, not something you want to do at school, not something you want students to hear certainly, but not something you want to do anyway, and certainly not with your principal. So that was not the results I had hoped for. And then the question then is, what do I walk away from this experience with? I think I walked away with it with two lessons. One is that you can't change everyone. No matter how righteous, no matter how right you are, you can't always bring people on board. And the other thing I learned was that how you go about doing it is absolutely essential. How you go about effecting change, how you influence people really matters. And you have to think that through. To this day, I still believe that how we treat students, young people, is absolutely essential. It's a model. We model behavior, and how we treat them is how they're going to turn around and learn to treat other people. And I believe they have to be treated with respect. They have to be treated as we want them to treat others, as we want them to treat us. And that's a really essential element of my thinking.